Hello, so welcome to this video for COMP3218, Game Design and Development at the University of Southampton. My name's Dave Millard, I'm one of the lecturers on the course, and I'm here with...
I'm Dan Hobson, I'm one of the demonstrators on the course.
So we've got a couple of student games to have a look through in this video. Dan, do you want to say a little bit about what we asked the students to do?
Yeah, this coursework is about interactive narratives. So this means we want a piece of work that has some sort of narrative, story going on, and of course some gameplay. And most importantly, these two things interact. The gameplay affects the story, and the story affects the gameplay.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, well, let's get on and have a look at our first game. Okay, so our first game is called Fable Town. Okay, there we are, Fable Town. It's already given me what was the Telltale game? Was it with the wolf? It's giving me those vibes. Wolf Among Us, was it? Fable Town, right? Okay. So having said,
art style, nice font.
Yes.
Nice little backing track.
Yeah, nice little isometric style. So having said I'd sorted the music, I'm just going to change the mix because it's still too loud. So, one sec. Okay, right, we'll see if that's any better. It's running at 2%. So that just shows you.
Okay.
Right, okay, well, there's no tutorial option or anything, so just start game. Right, with the leader of a struggling town, manage your community's resources and make compromises to ensure the survival of your people. Outsiders will find your town. Crisis opportunities will arise. Okay, so this is giving me sort of Frostpunk vibes now.
Yes.
And it's
Fable punk, as it were.
Yes. Decide how to act. Okay. The information panel displays the major game state variables. Discontent, the phase of the story, the number of different resources, and people. Alright.
It's nice that they're giving us a tutorial. It's maybe a little bit up front,
It
a whole
is.
bunch to remember, but hopefully we'll remember it as we go through.
And much better than nothing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So if disconnect was too high, will be banished. Okay, so keep people happy.
Yep.
Basically. There are 3 phases to the game, each lasting 120 seconds and progressively harsher. So plan ahead. The speed panel controls the tick speed of the game. Okay. Buildings can be placed by selecting a type from the drop down. You must have enough resources to place a building. Okay, and click the building to move. Alright. Buildings are listed in the... Right, I'm starting to get overwhelmed with information now. Buildings are listed in the building status panel. Okay. I'm sure it will all become clear. The lower panel... work right. Jeez. Right. Okay, so the building tells us its state. It tells me kind of what's going on with... what's going on internally. Multiple choice decision events will occur randomly, and then we have these kind of factors. Alright, okay. So they're telling a story through these events, basically. So this is the narrative aspect of the game.
Yeah, looks like it.
So, can we pause the game to start with? So I can get a sense of where we are. So we've got what looks like a log window down the bottom. We've got our thing at the top. I don't think I can't scroll around or anything, I don't think.
So fixed map.
Oh no, I can. Yeah, I can use the arrow keys.
Right.
There you go. So I've got arrow keys to look around. So I've got plenty of wood. I've got all right. It's this is definitely a Tom game, isn't it? A spreadsheet game.
Spreadsheet simulator. Yeah.
Right. So at the moment we've got nothing, which already feels a bit weird. I feel like I should start with something. But
perhaps, I mean, the things on the top of the list are maybe the most obvious starting points. I don't know that we need a farm before we need a big farm, but you could guess that
a basic farm. Yeah, so wood cost. So wood, it looks like the basic building material, right? So
yeah, we start with 500 of it.
So a big farm. So if I built a farm and then something that generates me stone, I guess, and then I can start to build some of these more advanced things.
Yeah, I was thinking we probably do want
pit.
a lumber mill or two because we still want a income of our basic resource.
Well, let's build a farm, a lumber mill, and a stone pit, right?
Yeah,
that'll get us going.
Good.
So farm. Any placement things, do you think?
Not that I've noticed. I don't think anything can go anywhere.
So there's my
You might not be
farm.
allowed to place on top of lakes or something, but
Okay. And I want a lumber mill. Oh, it
and
needs
as we've
one.
placed them, we've got a log that says they're inactive because they need some workers. So
Yeah.
hopefully somewhere we can produce a house, or we can
Let's do a lumber
people just.
mill. A stone pit.
Oh, hang on. Population 5, workers 5. I think we just have to go and assign people to
I
things,
would
maybe.
guess. So if I go to building, add a worker here.
Right. Yeah.
Close, and go to this building and add a worker, and then go to.
We've got 3 workers left, and apparently a stone pit needs 4. So we might be able to assign them, but it won't turn on.
It says needs 3 to run.
Needs 1 more than we have.
No, it says. Oh no! Oh, I see. Yeah.
It needed 4. You added a few. Now it needs 1.
Got you. So the stone pit won't work until population goes up.
Presumably we'll get some more population soon.
Yes. Well, shall I? In that case, I've got some wood left. So I remove my workers from the stone pit.
Assign them to something productive.
Assign them to something productive. What does a farm produce? Farm 30 per tick, and I'm consuming at 45. So let's build another farm. So 2 little farms, and then we're kind of away, right? So build it there. Go to that building. I'm going to add a worker. There we go. So we've used up all our wood, I think. All right, we'll go back to resume. Okay, so not sure where we get the people from.
Phase timer is ticking down, so stuff is resolving.
Stuff is happening. We're generating food. Our food is going up. Our wood is going up. Right. So if I pause now, so we've got enough wood to build something else. We've got hospital, stone pit, lumber mill, big farm. Hospital that can heal patients. Well, we don't have any.
Yeah, none of our workers have become patients yet, so nothing bad has happened. We don't need to. Presumably, we can just build the hospital as soon as we need it.
Let's build another lumber mill.
Yeah.
Because wood seems really important.
There
we go. Another lumber mill. Go to that building. Add a worker. Resume. Oh, a small group of travellers have arrived at your settlement. They are dirty, their faces are gaunt, their eyes are lightless. They are clearly very hungry. What will you do with them? Let them stay. We gain some population at the upfront cost of some food and a patient. They were starving. Let the healthiest travellers stay, gaining a small amount of population at the cost of a small discontentment penalty. Turn them away, or turn them over, give them some food to go. No population gain of food cost. All right, so this is nice. So we've got like a. So we've got like It's a narrative decision and a resource decision, right?
Yes.
And I suspect one of the problems we're going to have in this game is saying what's narrative and what's game, right? And
one of the things they've done is they've very specifically said you'll get some food. I suppose they say a patient. It's clear how much that exactly is, so we can calculate on those. Yeah. But they haven't said exactly what's going to happen. We can't calculate with complete certainty. So we're taking these decisions at least in part as narrative decisions, and then of course they're going to affect the gameplay.
Yeah, so it's better than just saying, just giving us the resource options, but to a certain extent they are still just narrativizing the resource decisions. But let's have a look. So we did need some more people, right? We wanted to get them in our line.
Gaining some population would be helpful.
We don't have a hospital, but we ought to build a hospital pretty soon. So we got a good. I reckon we'll let them stay, right? Should we do that?
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. So if I let them stay, right? If I stop, so we've got 1 patient, so we need to build a hospital. So let's build the hospital over here.
We might have to staff the hospital as well. Yeah.
Hospital inactive, but we've got plenty of workers, so we're going to add a worker and add a patient. Right. So we're now consuming 90. So our food is going to go down, right? And then
some more farms.
If we go to our stone pit, it needs 4 workers. Have we got how many workers? Have we got 4?
We've got exactly 4. Yeah.
So let's do that. and let's see if we can get some stone and build a big farm.
Yep.
Let's do it.
One little note: I like that in this log they give us the go to building button because it's really convenient to have that where it's placed.
So it might be nice to have some indication of what you could build based on the to disable or enable these depending on what was going on. But
yeah, just grey out or put a little tick box next to things.
I think it's kind of so we wanted to build a big farm. Right, where's our stone? We've got enough stone. We haven't got enough wood, so let's resume. Oh, one of your farmers developed a more effective fertilizer, which they claim will boost your food production. However, their recipe has a very high wood content. Would you like to adopt the new recipe? You get a multiplier to food production in exchange for a small decrease in your wood production. Yeah, see, this is much more of a mechanical decision, right? It's narrativized, but reject the new fertilizer. Well, I think food does seem to be a problem, and wood's all right. So I reckon we use this fertilizer.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the rate that it's consuming the wood? Do you think? Does the wood go down? Oh, wood's going up. Well, patient 1. Hang on. Farm inactive needs 1. We've got a patient. Hospital, no patient to heal. So we add our patient.
Our farmer has become a patient. They've
become
her
ill. Right, let's build this big farm because we can.
Yeah.
It's not very big, I've got to be honest, but hey ho. There you are, big farm.
Perhaps means very productive farm. It is slightly bigger.
So it needs 2 workers. We've only got 1 worker. But what I reckon we'll do is we'll take a worker out of one of our farms. Put them in.
You could put them out the hospital because there's no one doing anything there right now.
Isn't it healing a patient? Yeah, it's healing a patient.
Yes. Hang on, we've got patients 1 of 1 in the hospital, but our tracker on the left says we have 0 patients.
Yes, that's interesting, isn't it? Or is that just because we're...
So I think we put a patient in the hospital and they got healed, and so they're not a patient anymore?
So it says patient, go to building, remove patient. Oh, I think just that's how many patients need to go into hospitals.
Oh, yes, okay, that's the unassigned patient. Yeah.
All right. So what's our generation rate? So we're consuming at 90. Big farm... hang on. Big farm... Oh, that big farm produces 90 per tick. So food's sorted. There we go. Even though we've got 2 inactive farms, we're doing all right for food, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Let's resume. So we're good. Food's going up. Wood's going up. Stone's going up. Brilliant. Sorted.
Got 60 seconds of phase 1. If there's any other bits and pieces we want to build up before whatever happens in phase 2.
Too late. A mill worker was badly injured this morning. They've been brought... A mill? Do we have a mill? They've been brought to the infirmary.
Lumber mill, yeah.
A lumber mill, oh yeah. But the other workers are refusing to get back to work. They say that the saw design is unsafe. They want to intervene. Okay, a lower injury rate. Force labourers back to work. Well, we're doing all right. We got loads of wood coming in. I think basic safety at our lumber mills is important. That's what I agree with. So very happy to do that. Okay, we've got another patient now. So
that was nice. I was going to check whether or not the event that said someone got injured actually resulted in there being a patient.
Yeah,
which it does. Yeah.
So now this says no patient to heal, so I can go in here and I can add our patient. Right, yeah. What do we want to build? So we're more another lumber mill maybe. We've got nice safe lumber mills.
Presumably we don't need basic farms anymore because we have the capability to do the better version. Yeah. There isn't an upgraded lumber mill or stone pit or whatever, so we're still going to keep needing those as we grow. So
let's do a lumber mill. There's no stone. I'm wondering if we get new buildings and they cost more money because the stones are not that big a deal. We do have why do we have a worker? Oh, the lumber mill. Oh, they're both inactive. I've built a lumber mill. I haven't got anyone to put in it.
So I think it was one of the lumber mills. Someone got injured, went to the hospital, and we didn't manually put them back in the lumber mill afterwards.
Okay, so we're going. Everything's happy. but we don't have enough people we have capacity. We can move from food to mills and mills to farms if we need to. So that's good. All right, there we go. Let's put it on ×4. Reports out of your mines have confirmed we found a high quality seam of masonry grade stone. What will we do? Do we want to double shifts in the mine? Okay. Receive a food consuming speed and discontentment penalty, but we get a larger stone multiplier. Attempt a rock blast, a twitch looking mine using nitroglycerine. A large amount of stone in exchange for higher injury rate in stone mines. No, I don't think stone's a priority. We've got loads of stone.
There's only one thing that we use the stone for, and we've already built a couple of them.
Yeah, we're good. Right. Here we go. We're going to hit phase.
Food has hit 0. What happened there? Did we move people out of the farms?
No, I didn't move people out of the farms. One of the people left the farm for some reason.
Right. Okay.
So one
of the farmers got injured, so we lost farm productivity.
Yes. Hang on. So, patient, hospital, add patient. Okay, so hopefully we should start going up again now. Discontent 50. So that was a little bit annoying because that sort of happened without me noticing.
Well, because you're on 4 times speed, by the time that it's happened, you've got hit the next event or whatever. It would be maybe nice if your hospital was empty, it would automatically populate a patient if there was one sitting there to be healed.
Yeah, it's kind of so a lot of these games, the early game, I know this is only a small prototype, so it doesn't necessarily count, but early game you'd be doing it yourself, and then at some point you develop a technology that was like a auto-populate hospitals that took it off your hands, right?
And then eventually you can kind of queue up when someone finishes in the hospital, they're going to be automatically teleported to this farm or whatever. So
environment gets harsher, food consumption increases, and need to adjust your strategy or plan ahead. Okay. So I'm still a bit annoyed about the whole... Oh, let's slow down then. Phase 2. Why is discontent so high?
Because food has been running out for a little while, I think.
We got loads of food.
Well, it is now. Actually, no, discontent is still going up even though we've got food.
Why are people unhappy? So as far as I'm concerned, we've done all the good things. We've not introduced anything unpleasant, right?
Yeah.
We ran out of food very briefly, maybe for 1 or 2 ticks, and that was it. We've still got a worker spare. Why have we got worker spare?
It'll have been the guy who got out of the hospital, probably.
So let's populate one of our farms.
Yeah, I mean, we've got loads of stone and wood, so we can move people off stone and wood production to maximise our food production for a bit. Yeah,
let's do that because we are a bit. Our food production is only slightly more. There we go. So it also.
I'm wondering whether discontent will go down if we sort out our food problem, or whether or not it's sort of a ratchet that just they'll never get happier. They'll just accumulate discontent.
Oh, it's too late. Memories of your time will be defined by feckless cruelty. One poor choice after another whittled your people's trust. Yeah, okay. So discontent went through the roof for no reason that we know of.
Yeah, maybe it was because we were on ×4 speed for a bit, where it felt like it wasn't very long that the food was down, but it might have been more ticks than we realised.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of I was quite enjoying that. I'm kind of a bit dissatisfied by that outcome because I felt like we were doing all right. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna come back into it and start building it up again.
Yeah.
I've got a skip button. Well, good choice. Right, let's pause. So, should we start talking about the presentation while I'm getting this going?
So I like the visuals. Overall, the art style is nice. The title screen had a nice font. It's a slight shame that they've fallen back on a default font for everything else. There could have been a little bit more graphical polish in making these UI elements just a little bit prettier borders and that sort of thing, but it's minimal.
Yeah.
We heard an audio track at the start. Do we have interaction audio on when you place stuff and when it generates resources or anything like that?
I can't hear anything. There's also no music during the game itself. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a shame. I'm going to build another lumber mill. Lumber mill? Why can't I build a lumber mill?
We're low on wood.
Low on wood.
Yeah.
I can build a lumber mill. Yeah.
How about information design? Because this is definitely an information-heavy game. There's a lot that you want to know and a lot that you need to be able to check.
So I think first of all, I think you're completely right on the graphics. I'm a little bit forgiving. I think this was done. This game has a lot of information going on, right? So that's a lot of stuff that if you wanted to style really nicely, you'd have to worry about. But yes, I mean that's clearly slightly basic, but the kind of the core isometric view works really well. It's clear. It's not quite. So we're kind of getting ahead a little bit, but it's not quite clear to me what this map is for. So imagine that I didn't have a map, right? Imagine that the map was replaced with just a list of buildings. In fact, just get rid of the map, and I've got the list of buildings on the left-hand side. That would not change the game at all. Right?
Yeah, the number farms, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them.
Yeah, or even just list each one and with the go to building thing, right?
Yeah.
So the farm bit in the middle is not doing anything really, but it looks nice. So the audio is there, but very minimal. Information design. There are things I really like. So I really like that the key information is just on screen, very clear. The consuming rate of food in particular, I think, is really important. That's good. The patience, the use of the colours to indicate consistently to indicate when things are good or bad. So discontent and patient are currently green, for example. Lumber mill's green because it's got someone in it. Stone pit is inactive, so it's red. All of that works really well. With the scrolly bit here, I'm guessing we do get more buildings, but that's also a little bit of a shame that I'd have to scroll around to find stuff. But yeah, altogether, I think they've got a lot of stuff to convey and they've done a reasonable job.
Yeah, I agree. Little things that I would call nitpicks are stuff like all of our resources aren't aligned. I'd really like a tab alignment character or something just so we can look down in a nice column and see what everything is. But,
yes.
Things like farm, big farm, and so on have very long descriptions. If that text was a little bit smaller, we'd be able to see more of them and so on.
Yeah, and things like rather than have a list with food and wood and all that, if that was a little dynamic table, so I could see what was producing what and etc. That would be good. Right, I'm gonna let them stay again, and I'm gonna build a hospital. We did that last time, so it's my hospital. I've got plenty of workers, so we'll add them in there. And now I can go to my stone pit and I can get that going as well. Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Overall, I feel like I would probably call the presentation workable with effective, but some inconsistencies.
Yeah, it's definitely workable. I think. Yeah, that's right. So that's at the satisfactory level.
Yeah.
Looks like. Add a patient, add a worker. There we go. Resume. So that takes us to meaningful play. I have the fertilizer. So we've got lots of wood. So let's get our multiplier. So there we go. So the multiplier goes in. Let's build some more stuff while we're here. So we've got stone. We can build a big farm now, right? Let's build a big farm. Let's take a worker off of a little farm and put it in a big farm. That's a farm. Where's the big farm? So I just built a farm rather than a big farm. So if I hit... I did, didn't I? So if I hit remove building and get rid of that one. Not sure if do I get it back? I can't tell. Big farm. That's better. Big farm. Oh, and I need to take somebody off the other little farm.
Yeah.
In order to add them. add the worker there. Yeah, the scrolling is a bit annoying. That's it just seems a bit. It just feels a bit unnecessary. It feels like you could have got it all on screen. But here we go.
Does the big farm actually take up more space than the little farms?
No. No.
Yeah,
So
they're all on a grid.
That's another weird thing. Is not only does it not matter where they are, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, how big they are.
So the map, really what it's doing is it says you have 60 slots in which you can put things.
Yeah.
Maximum building cap 60. If the big farm had been like a 2x1 or a 3x1 shape, you might start playing Tetris as you go and trying to get all of the things fitting in neatly.
Yeah. So our discontent's gone up a bit. Not sure why. I think maybe I had a patient for a while that I couldn't heal. It's dropping down again now. All right, so we're building up. Everything's going up, and it's food's sort of not going up. Food's kind of we've got what's not working. I might as well add a worker to a farm then, and then there we go. All right. So I feel like we need to get a bit further into the game, really. But let's start talking about meaningful play. Review wood. I'm happy to do wood production speed penalty because we're fine. Got a patient again. Add patient to the hospital. One of the lumber mills is inactive. That's kind of okay, I think. Okay. So the meaningful play comes down to the mechanics, controls, and bugs. I would say it's definitely playable. So I'm definitely doing stuff. I feel like I'm playing a game. It's a bit hard to tell at the moment whether it's engaging because I kind of feel like with the limited mechanics we've seen so far, it doesn't quite reach the kind of that would be the good level, right? Mm-hmm. Because all I've really got is assigning workers to and building buildings, which is fine, but it's kind of lacking a certain level of engagement.
For me, the fact that you've got small farm, big farm gives you some interesting pacing for when you're going to move from small farm to big farm as your primary production. If we'd seen big lumber mill, big stone pit would be easy ways of pushing that a little further. Okay, so it's all ticking along. I'm terrified of hitting the times button because last time I did that we just instantly lost. Reports out of your mind saying we've found a high quality team of masonry stone, grade stone. No, we're fine. Which is what I did last time. So discontent is rising because we have a patient. So add the patient, resume. There we go. And it goes down again. All right. So I think for meaningful play, I would say it's at the satisfactory level. Controls are fine, but just clicking on buttons. The scrolling's a bit niggly. So I think in terms of slightly fewer mechanics, a little bit niggly here and there. But there aren't any bugs or anything, so I think satisfactory. Mm-hmm.
Phase 2, the environment gets harsher. So we look at the consuming rate jumps. So that's 126 per tick. Add a worker. So I've got I need more workers is the part of the problem. So I've got a big farm.
I think the only place we've found workers is in the events. It's nice that the events do give us some, but I was kind of expecting a lot of these sort of city building games or civilization building games, when you have lots of excess food or something, people will just migrate to your town and you'll get more population over time.
Yeah. Because ultimately I'm sitting here, everything is kind of in balance. I've got nothing new to build. I thought maybe in phase 2 I would get new stuff to build as well.
Yeah, but maybe this will be a thing we touch on when we come to pacing, but we're not getting so many tools to actively push the pacing forward.
That's a group of refugees. And they're only survivors. Okay, so let them stay. You managed to fight them off, but they're still a smaller. So that's interesting. They give us the outcome of the decision.
Yeah.
In the choice, which is an interesting thing to do. Right?
It depends how it's framed, right? Like, if it is a group of refugees are being chased by bandits, then you let them stay and you
let them
expect
stay.
to.
Yeah, there is a risk the bandits will attack you. That's what you want. And then when you select it, you say, this is what happens. Okay, so we're gonna. So this is what I mean, though, right? So we're looking at this decision, and actually, what I want to know is what's the resource change? Yeah.
So game wise, you're trying to sort of see through the event in order to establish what it's going to do to the game. From the narrative point of view, perhaps there's a little bit. It's a little too thin in terms of We'd like a refugee to show up and have one line of dialogue saying, "Please let us stay," or something.
Yeah, or give us some reasons. So the option one is we fight off the bandits. So they take some of our food and they injure one of the refugees, but we gain some population and we can turn them away. We get discontentment penalty. Or we hand them over and get some food. So I think we'll let them stay and then deal with the consequences, right? So because our hospital doesn't have a patient, so we can add our patient into the hospital. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then we're consuming way more, so we need another big farm. But that's fine because we've got a bunch more workers. So there's a big farm. So there we go. So I think we've got the farms are giving us well over what we need. Stone pit's going. Lumber farm, that's going. In fact, I might even build another lumber because our food's really high. And we've got 2 workers spare. So I build another lumber mill. And then I can add a worker to that farm. And I can add a worker to the lumber mill. Now we've got lots of redundancy going on. Okay, here we go. So still going up. We're doing okay. I was hoping for some more interaction. There was an audible bong there when the patient, when a person was injured in the stone pit. So,
okay, nice.
So if we go to the hospital and we add the patient. So plenty of redundancy, so all good. Let's go for it. Like I said, I kind of feel... So the next thing to talk about is the story engine and the ways in which the game world and the story world interact, which I think is going to be an interesting discussion for this game. But I want to see a few more events, and particularly I'd like to get to phase 3 so we can actually get a sense of what's going on. We have a mysterious illness. All of them appear to have been rushed to the infirmary. It would be very bad if you don't... God, I'll be able to keep up. Right, do we... attempt to treat and isolate them with the cost of extra food. Workers become patients that is treatable. Alright, let the patient rest, but don't isolate them. A secret disease will spread and decrease the healing speed. Force the sick workers back to the field. Well, yeah. Also, there's no... So the reason that these are calculations and not choices is because I'm just deciding. Really, what I'm doing is making a decision about the resources I want to do. Right. There just doesn't feel like there's narrative consequence. So these events seem to be independent of the state of my town, right? Okay.
So that's an interesting thing. I've read through their notes, and since we're coming on to Game World to Story next in the Mark scheme, we'll talk about it now. They say that what events you're being presented with are selected based on the state of your town. They don't say how, but my assumption is that things like someone is injured at a lumber mill makes the very basic check to say, do you have a lumber mill? Then yes, this event is an event that we can generate.
Yeah.
And so there is some aspect that what you do in the game world, i.e. what you build and how much of it you build, affects the story because it presents different narrative segments, different events show up in response.
Okay.
It's maybe a little basic because there are only 3 or 4 kinds of buildings.
It's not obvious, is it, as to... So I think we've done the good thing, and I built another hospital to accommodate the patients, and because we had lots of redundancy, we've moved people around, so that's all good. Okay, so here we go. Dare I go to that? Here we go. Ticking down. Let's try that again. Just keep an eye on discontent this time. Right. The quarry is producing less and less stone by the day. It may be time to shut some of them for good. Close the quarry. Quarry workers are content because you either wring it dry. I think so. Okay. Well, we don't really need it, do we?
So this is interesting. I quite like this as a example of game world to story. It's responded to how much you're utilizing your stone pit here, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Which is a more interesting and more complex thing to track than do you have one in existence? I'm looking in their notes. They also say they're tracking events triggered by having low food, events triggered by having high discontent, various other ones like this. So there seems to be quite a rich range of events responding to the game state.
Yeah. So the stone pit. So the stone pit is still there. It's just reduced. Is it working? I'm not sure it's working. Let's resume and see if stone goes up. No. So the stone pit's no longer working.
Yeah, it says +0 per 3 ticks.
So I can close the stone pit. Okay, and then let's give these people something useful to do. I've got loads of workers now. I've got 4.
And we've got 7 seconds left of phase 2, so we'll shortly be getting on to.
Do you think maybe build another big farm? Maybe.
Yeah.
And then we can get them in there. And I gotta get out to ×1 and see if anything happens in the last 7 seconds. The environment gets more harsh. All building production rate decreases significantly. Workers' injury rates in all kind of buildings increases. You may need to adjust your strategy or plan ahead. Okay.
So I think the same thing as phase 2. All of the numbers just multiply by 0.7 or something.
So it still says consuming rate is 189 for every 3 tick.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still producing, or the big farm's definitely producing less now.
By the way, did we get a conversion between ticks and seconds? Because everything is measured in ticks except for the time remaining.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be we've got 110 ticks left?
I think so. I'm guessing that's what it is. We've got a patient. So we need to go to the hospital and add them in there. Not sure which, it's one of the lumber mills, so it's fine. Okay. Here we go. Resume. Got another patient. So I'll put them in the other hospital. Okay. All still fine. All still going up. We've got 2 workers left, so we can go and add the workers back in. And resume. So let's start talking about the story engine then. So we're looking for I've got 2 workers. Where can they go? Why have I got 2 spare workers?
Perhaps did they go into the hospital and come out again? That is perhaps, the mechanism that takes people away from buildings passively.
Let's build another lumber mill and they can go in there.
So we're looking for examples where the game world impacts the story first, and then we'll talk about how the story impacts the game world.
Yeah, okay. So So the real, I'm going to pause just while I talk. So the real issue here is what is story world and what is game world, right?
Mm.
Because by the story world, what we mean is the narrative events that occur, the relationships between people, the narrative decisions you are making, right? And by game world, we mean the kind of mechanical things that are happening in the game space, right? And normally the reason we say these have to go both ways is because they are separate, because often the game world isn't as sophisticated as the narrative world, right? So the game world might be me jumping around platforms, whereas the narrative world is, all sorts of things happening, and narrative events occurring and relationships developing and all the rest of it. Here, etc. The problem here is that they are absolutely smushed together. So every decision we make is really a mechanical decision, but there is a narrative applied to it, right?
Mm.
So it's more like it's almost like there's no narrative. What's happening is I'm getting a narration of the mechanical choices, right? That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So that makes this conversation slightly difficult because there isn't a distinct game world and story to game world, right? They've done something else. So game world to story.
I would push back slightly. I think I'm going to defend to an extent the story elements here, which is that in particular things like when your food goes down, supposedly we get events that say things like your workers become unhappy because they don't have any food to eat, or when the discontent gets high, it triggers, a workers' riot event, and so on. And those things, like the workers' riot and things, have a narrative aspect to them. They will later also cause some effects on the gameplay. What I think I would probably say here is that the narrative is not missing, it's just quite thin. It's quite clear that they've decided what they want the gameplay effects of these decisions to be first, and then put just enough of a narrative to say that there's a narrative there, which is okay.
So if you look at this one, for example, I think this does have enough stuff in it that you would say this isn't just a calculation, right? There's some choice here.
Yeah.
So because it's framed so evocatively, we're going to eat the dead, we're going to eat a bunch of rats, we're not going to bother, and we're just going to carry on. So I'm going to say, well, we're confident, we're good, we got it going on. So it's dropped quite a lot. Food consumption is still going up because we're well above. Yeah. Okay. So if we say game world to story, so the game world to story is what you were saying about they're making event choices based on the state of my resources and my farm and all the rest of it, right? Oh, there's more to farm than crop cultivations. Will you let them? No. What? Stop them. Well, that's interesting. Do we increase food production and get increased injury rates, or do we keep it as it is but get discontentment? We don't need the food. These people are idiots. Okay, that's interesting. So this is also a better choice, right? Because I'm choosing. It's not a calculation. I have two bad things, and I have to decide which one I want to have, right?
Yeah.
So this is a better choice, I think. So do I get higher injury rates, or do I? So I'm going to go for higher injury rates. We've got 2 hospitals. We're all fine. So game world to story, I think there is clearly a link between the game world and the story events that come up.
Yep. I think we're certainly at the level of some examples.
Yeah.
The tier above that is whether or not there's a number of examples and the impact in important ways.
Well, here we go. So this is we're getting to some more interesting events now. That may help answer that question. So a group of people have been preaching in the streets. Talk began about them, follows leaving the settlement. Will you stop the settlement? So we're going to lose some workers, but we'll get a contentment bonus. And persuade them to stay. Discontent starts to accumulate. Well, we're going to lose a worker or two. we kind of need our workers, although actually maybe we don't need our workers. So go on, let them go. Go on, leave.
Yeah.
So we lost 3 people.
These later events definitely feel to me like they're hitting this impact the story in important ways.
Yeah,
we're starting to develop some aspects of culture inside this narrative now.
Yeah, they're much better. So let's have a look. So farming, we've got. We're well above the farming level, so we're gonna pop them in the lumbermill, I think.
I don't think we hit the tier above Game World. The story says a consistent interplay between Game World and story.
No.
And we were saying at the start it seemed a little bit patchy. Maybe it was because there wasn't so much that the Game World could express, so the events we had were perhaps less interesting and less varied. But now that we've started to get a more wide range, it has become more important.
Okay, again, here's another. These are better choices because I'm choosing between. There isn't a right answer, right? So, do we want to get a permanent negative multiplier in food production, or some injuries? So I think we're gonna defeat the bandits. We've got a couple of hospitals going on, so let's put them in the hospitals. So okay. So these choices are I think I much prefer them.
Yeah, and perhaps should we talk about richness of choices now? Then we'll come back to story to Game World in a moment.
Okay. So we've been around. So I said the first ones to me, they did feel like calculations, right? And they were just narrativized. These later ones, because I'm choosing between 2 different bad things, and then the narrative gives me a reason, right? It enables me to balance my thoughts about which one to go. They felt like much better choices. So to me, we've satisfactory would be a number of interesting choices, and good would be a number of interesting choices and attempts to manage player agency. So I think they definitely get the satisfactory, right? There's definitely a number of interesting choices. I think there's also a bunch of uninteresting choices, but we'll let them off that, right? There's definitely some interesting ones. But then the good one, are there any, the agency of the player, have they managed that agency?
I guess the example of managing player agency would be if any of these events had if you had more wood, you could choose this option, or if you had more people, you could choose this option, would be the classic managed player agency here. Yeah.
But it feels to me like that's quite simple. They're just saying, you get the consequences of your actions and that's it. So I think maybe for richness of choices, we're at the satisfactory level.
I agree.
Okay, I think we got the good ending, right? If you like.
All in this together.
Yeah. All right. So yes, okay. So we managed things sensibly, and we took the middle management route, right? So that maybe lets us answer now the story to game world bit. So are there things that happen in the story that affect the game world, right? So there clearly are, because we get things like adjustments to the rates at which people get injured, the rate of food production, based on our kind of choices. So I think we do clearly have them going that way. So we're definitely at the satisfactory level. Some examples. Again, is it in important ways though? Right?
I would say it probably is, insofar as a lot of these changes are affecting like our core productions. We had, people try and emigrate, and now we have fewer workers. That is quite an important mechanical effect. It doesn't feel like the game would be the same if we had picked the other option.
Yeah. Right. So. Yes.
Okay. It might be halfway between the two, but I can certainly say some of them are important and some of them are interesting.
Yeah, I think kind of what's putting me off a bit is because all it's doing is fiddling with the numbers, and it's to do with the map, ironically, because the map doesn't make any difference, right? It's not important. So it feels to me that that's part of the game space which is really underutilized. And none of
So
your
I suppose
yeah.
for it to say affect the game world in important ways, you might need to have bandits arrive from the east. All your buildings on the east become unproductive.
Exactly.
Bandits arrive from the north.
Yeah, yeah. Or being able to build sort of defensive buildings that might help you from those different directions, or something, right? And it, or the usage of the of the type of terrain, and saying what the terrain is, and like saying, okay, well, if you build this, if you build this next to a water, then your farm is more productive. Your water supply gets fouled, so that farm becomes all that kind of stuff. So it's not that they haven't done it; it's just that there's a whole bit of the game which isn't really used, the game world which isn't really used for game, and the narrative completely ignores that as a result. But yes, the bit that it is working is the numbers behind the scenes. And it's definitely affecting those.
Your hospital is too far away from your stone pit.
Yes.
This person wasn't able to get to the hospital in time.
Yeah. So I think there are a number of examples. And again, the other way is it doesn't feel. I mean, I guess we'll get to this with pacing really, but it doesn't. It just feels like I'm micromanaging, right? There were one or two bigger decisions at the end that felt a bit more important. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe we can say it's halfway between the two, as a compromise.
Yeah.
So that takes us on to techniques. Let me just build up some of these over here. So
notably, since this is a playthrough again, we'll maybe see if we can go through phase 1 a little quicker, because we found that to be not the most interesting choices. No. And maybe the pacing will change slightly on a repeat play, because we'll have a bit more smoothness or a bit more familiarity.
So let's close that. What do I need? Another.
Of course, as we're going through this play, we'll keep an eye on pacing. Not enough resources.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Burn up. Okay, stop that. Let's build another lumber mill. Pop a worker in there, and should we build a hospital? Oh, not enough resources to build a hospital.
Need a little bit more wood.
Group of travellers. We're going to let them stay. Can I build the hospital yet? Why can I not build the hospital? Not enough. Oh, I do can build the hospital. There we go. All good. Start using the fertilizer. I've got lots, so I can go to the stone pit and put people in there now. Brilliant. And we want to build a big farm. Why can't I build a big farm? Big farm. Wood 300. Stone cost. Oh, not enough stone. There we go. So we've got 2 patients. Alright, better build our second hospital. We'll take someone out of there and we'll put them in the hospital. Another patient. Add a patient, and then we want to remove the worker from there. We need to get the stone pit going. Right, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, our discontent's gone nuts. Why is our discontent's gone nuts? We're running out of food.
Food is low again.
So add the patient, add the worker. So we can build a farm. And we've got multiple lumber mills, so I'll remove a worker from there, and I'll remove a worker from one of our farms, and we'll add them in there. Oh, there we go. Discontentment is going down. Yeah, so discontentment went up really quickly with food. And
because you're on 4 times speed, you're getting penalised every tick, which means many times within a second.
Do we double shifts in the mine, receive a food consuming speed and exchange for a lot? Well, let's do that because, you know, and we'll drop down in speed because we've sort of. Oh, we need to heal more people in hospitals. Add the patient. Add the patient. Resume. Oh, environment gets harsher, etc. Oh, patient again. Oh, we've got another patient, so keep an eye on that. No patient to heal. Yeah, so let's talk about pacing. What's your take on the pacing here?
There's an obvious bit of ascending pacing, which is just all the numbers go up on the basis that you either become self-sufficient and sustainable and things improve, or you die.
Yeah.
So there is definitely an overall upward trajectory in the amount of stuff, although it is kind of limited mostly by the fact that there's not very many kinds of buildings and they're fairly simple.
Yeah.
And because we see them all at the start, you have all the things that you could do. Within the first 2 minutes, you've done all of them, and then you're just doing more of the same over and over again.
Yeah.
I know it's a small game prototype, but you were saying maybe in phase 2 we get a new building, maybe in phase 3 we get a new building. That sort of thing would have really driven the idea that our civilization is evolving, progressing, getting bigger.
Oh, we yeah, okay.
Discontent.
So again, I don't know why. So this is another interesting thing. So our discontent was high because our food dropped for a minute, but that was a while ago, and it's been going down. We've got no patience. We've got loads of resources. Yeah, I don't know why this. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, they've got a problem, I think, with the outcomes as well, and this comes down to pacing as well with the climaxes, because the end of the game feels very sudden and it's not properly explained. I think, right? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm here. It feels kind of unjust in a way.
Partly it's mechanical. I think they've got some sort of multiplier which drives these things exponential, right? Once the discontent starts going up a bit, it's more likely to go up a bit more, and then it explodes. And part of it is an information design thing. We do get the nice colour change on discontent to say something bad is happening, but possibly by the time we've figured out what it is, or we don't figure out what it is, the game is over.
Well, in this case, discontent was dropping, and then this screen popped up. So I literally have no idea. But yeah, okay. So
sometimes a game like this will have like discontent for every building, right? You might have this particular farm is sad, this particular house is sad, and so what's important there is that if you're getting near the stage where your civilization is collapsing, every single building starts going discontent here, discontent here, discontent here. It looks more like you're getting towards the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about pacing. So I think there is some ascending pacing, which is the satisfactory, at least, and that's because mechanically the game gets more stressful as the food requirements and so on change, but also the events get more interesting. There's the kind of that you feel like you're progressing. They're lacking a grand narrative. So one of the things that games like Frostpunk do very successfully is they make you feel like you're building your way through a story, whereas here we're just some random settlement in the middle of the wilds. But I think you can say that the pacing does go up. I don't think there's a clear final peak though. I don't think there's anything that feels like a final challenge. So a lot of these games often do that. So Frostpunk has the massive storm at the end, for example. Games like 4X games like Stellaris have major world events that happen at the end, like you're an invasion from another galaxy or something, and you have to fight them off. So there isn't anything here. So for me, probably it's the satisfactory level.
Yeah, I agree. We have the timer, which does actually cause the game to end at a specific time, but that's not the same thing as saying a clear final peak.
Yeah.
because there isn't actually a narrative thing that comes at the end of the game, like you were saying. If that timer changed, double all the timers or something,
Yes.
it wouldn't be any different.
Yeah.
So that timer really is just a timer, not actually a thing that tells you when the big narrative event is going to happen.
Yeah. So if we talk about storytelling techniques, so I'm trying to think what methods they've got. We've got the sort of the options box that pops up and tells us about the narrative events and gives us our decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the screen at the end that comes up. But there's no sort of environmental storytelling. The farm itself doesn't change according to what we're doing. There's no kind of... I mean, you might argue that the blurb at the end is in place of a cutscene, because obviously we don't expect the students to build a full kind of animated cutscene or anything. But there's nothing at the beginning. So I think it's a little bit lackluster in the way they tell the story. But they've got successful use of at least one game writing technique. And that's at the sort of satisfactory level.
Yeah.
So that takes us to feedback. So what was their feedback in the
They've
labs?
got a couple of bits of feedback on their form they've submitted. The first one was about information design. So there was a discussion about what information should be shown to the player.
Yeah.
They were told the advice was, if you wish to hide information from the player, there should be a narrative reason to do so, but don't let the player be able to guess the entire narrative progression right at the start, because then the story isn't very interesting. So they've tried to balance that. And this is sort of what we were seeing on those events, that they haven't said nothing about the outcome, they haven't said everything about the outcome, but whether we feel like they have successfly managed to integrate how much they told us in those boxes to balance what's narrative and what's gameplay.
I think there's definitely a few places, wasn't there, where we said they hadn't got it quite right. So like when the bandits attack, they should be warning us about the possible outcomes, not telling us what the outcome's going to be in the box. Okay.
So for that one, I think it's been addressed, but with limited success.
Yes.
The other piece of feedback was about the game's event system. So this is the story engine.
Yeah.
And we reminded them that the game world has to impact the story has to impact the game world, and we had a discussion about that. And so this is where they developed the idea that specific events have to be triggered by specific game conditions and vice versa.
Okay.
So things like you can't have some events if you haven't built the building that triggers them.
Yeah.
You can't have a starvation event unless your people are starving, and so on.
Yeah. So that's clearly, again, that has been successful, but we also said that it wasn't specific enough, or the link wasn't clear enough. So again, I would say maybe somewhat successful.
Yeah, I think that's right. That what the game is doing behind the scenes has strongly connected those things, but because of the way it's presented, this narrative is quite thin, as I've said before. We don't necessarily get that in our experience of it. We kind of have to go to the document and go, yes, it is in fact true that this thing behind the scenes is causing this other thing.
So I think that means that we're at the satisfactory level for feedback as well.
Yeah.
So let's wrap things up. What are your final thoughts on this one?
So I really like the core idea here. There were some bits of the UI and things that I think they did a good job of, and bits of the UI that were maybe needing a little bit more clarity. I like the way that they've started building this story engine. For me, the thing that would elevate it to the next level would be to put a little bit more effort into making the narrative not feel tacked on to sort of just change the numbers of the spreadsheet, but to have something a bit more that makes me invested in the story specifically. It might be as simple as literally just naming your workers, right? If Dave goes to the hospital, that's quite different to worker number 3 goes to the hospital. But on top of that, you could potentially have these travelers arrive and they bring us some item or something, and now that item is a thing that sits in our town or whatever, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. So for me, the thing that's missing is the grand narrative. So they should be telling us a story about this world through the events. They should have grand narrative events that get triggered in phase 1, 2, and 3. So, for example, in phase 1, we should hear that some of our workers have seen riders in the distance. Right, there's another settlement nearby. Right, in phase 2, some of our people get accosted on the road. Right, and we learn that there's an aggressive settlement that's going to attack us in a month's time. Right, or someone defects to our village and tells us this is going to happen. Yep, and we should have some way of responding to that. So building up town defences, for example, but even if it was just as simple as building an armory and saying, how much of our town's resources are we going to allocate to the defence of this thing that's going to happen? And then that gives us a clear final peak when we get attacked and we survive or we don't, based on the decisions we made. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they've built the foundations of a really nice game here. They just need to do a little bit more to flesh out the narrative side, a bit more dramatic events, build towards a final climax. I think something like that would have been.
Notably, they're definitely going in that direction, right? The fact that they've chosen 3 phases, I don't think is a
no, that's right.
coincidence. They're clearly having in mind the idea of a 3-act structure. It's just as you say that putting something in each of those phases that's distinct would tie it into what that 3-phase structure is actually there to build.
Absolutely. Right. That's great. Let's move on to our next game. Right, so our next game is called What We Owe the Forest, which I think is a really nice title. I like that.
Yeah, it's quite poetic. And it possibly sort of implies a story, right? We're going to pay back the forest, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a nice title screen and some music. A little professional touch. I've got a volume slider. There's the music.
Yeah. The artwork is quite nice.
Artwork is nice, yeah. So let's click start. Chief Mage. Oh, it's a bit of a strange black box up there. What's that going on? The barriers, they weaken. We've already lost hundreds. Soon we will lose more. Junior Mage. What do we do? Can we erect another barrier? The barrier's collapse is imminent. We can delay its collapse, but we cannot prevent it unless someone ventures into the heart of the forest to retrieve the Eye of Heaven. With that special orb, we can erect new barriers and reinforce them. I wonder who's going to do that. No, there has to be another way. It is too risky. There is no other way. This is a very melodramatic start. This is good. I like this.
Yep.
Chief Mage. Okay. I bring the Eye of Heaven back, I swear. So the Eye of Heaven. Take my apprentice Daniel with you.
Oh, brilliant! I'm the apprentice. You're going to be the chief mage master in this story.
Going alone would endanger. Please take him with you. He's intelligent if you insist. All right. So here we've got we've got no choice here. We have to take Daniel. There's Felix and there's Daniel. All right. Oh, we continue on the path on their map. In the distance, they hear the roar of a herd of monsters. What's interesting here is I still have no idea what type of game we have here, right? Because we just at the moment it feels like a kind of not very interactive narrative because it's linear. There's too many of them.
We're setting up a story about going and getting a thing, so we might be exploring to try and find the MacGuffin in the forest, or it might be a combat thing. We've got something, a battle going on.
Definitely looks like there's some combat coming up. Yep, absolutely. So this is interesting. So a third person joins in. He's an exceptional warrior, felling 2 with just one swing of his sword, and Daniel and Felix join the battle. Yeah, here we go. Battle started. Right. So I played this in the Expo, and I'm hoping that I can remember, because in the Expo I really struggled to figure out how it all worked. So, but I think because for example, which character am I currently controlling?
Yeah, so I also played this in the Expo. The underline there on Felix.
That's Felix, right? It's quite subtle, but it's there. And then items, damage boost or potion. But what does the potion do? Yeah, so let's do a damage boost. Gain damage boost of 1.5. Is that just to Felix or is that to everybody? So Lucius can fight. We got Windstorm. Damage or impale a particular enemy for 40. So we're going to impale the bat. I can select them at the top.
I do like the big black arrow that
Yeah, that's
makes
that's
that
quite
clear.
nice. Yeah. And then we got
It's not
Daniel.
quite as clear as. Yeah, it would be quite nice if the who we're using at the moment also had an arrow, or maybe you just click on who you want to take a turn with.
Daniel seems a bit useless for that. He can fight. Items. Oh, I've got potion. I don't know what the potion does. Can't remember. But I've got a windstorm. I'll do the windstorm. There we go. Well, it attacks all enemies. So they've attacked us. So Felix now can do a windstorm. Maybe we can switch. I think we can switch characters. So it's Lucius. So he can actually do some proper damage. I think. So there we go. Let's kill a kobold. And then Daniel. He can.
I think he's basically the healer. Yeah.
Heal Lucius. And then he can fight. And he can attack this one. Okay, and then we might as well just do the fight, I guess, to finish up. So okay, I think we're getting a sense now of what the game is like. So it's a linear narrative where it tells me a story using these kind of pop-up characters interspersed with battles. So it's okay, that's all right. So this is Lucius Laven, like the royal family. What brings you to the forest? What do you... Actually, my cat ran away. A choice! So, he was a gift from my mother. He's very dear to me. I want to get him back. What brings you here? So, do I tell him the truth or do I lie to him? Why would I do either of those things? So, I've neither been set up to say whether my mission is a secret, and I have not been set up to know whether I should trust him or not. So this feels like a random decision to me. So I'm gonna take the being open route. So it's giving me some feedback at the top here. Loyalty will affect your eyes' performance. Okay, so I think they like that choice.
Yeah, Lucius likes and Daniel dislikes. I don't think we had discovered that these were Lucius's and Daniel's personalities beforehand, but we might start to see emerging.
So Daniel doesn't trust that guy. So do we go and gather some water? So yeah, okay, let's go and... Daniel will like that choice. Lucius will dislike. See, the other problem is the way that this scrolls. It's not clear which of these lines relates to which thing I've just done. But,
I suppose you have a little separator in between each event or something.
Hang on, is that an abandoned camp? We should check it out for any resources. Okay, so no choice there, yep. There's a tome of spells here as well as a sharp javelin. Which one should we pick? A tome or the javelin? So again, actually a mechanical choice, just what equipment to take. I guess we'll take... I don't know, should we take the javelin? That might be useful. Watch out, Felix! Monsters! Where did they come from? They did the random encounter roll. Okay, so Felix, we can fight. / windstorm. Do a windstorm, I think, maybe? So Lucius, fight, windstorm, impale. Well, I'm not sure what happened to that javelin. Maybe we'll all do windstorm to start with. And he's got items, damage boost, potion. Does potion just heal maybe? It's a healing potion. Or I can do fight. And under fight is heal. That's the other thing that really confused me from before, I think. So I'm going to do a windstorm again. Let's
Yeah, it seems like Daniel has a special fighting move, which is the doing healing fighting move.
Exactly. So he does have a potion as well. Maybe we should take a potion. Or we could do fight. Well, my javelin, my slash does 25. If I do windstorm, and I think Lucius should be able to kill one of them then. There we go. And then Daniel can maybe heal somebody. He can heal Felix. There we go. And now we can... slash the skeleton. And Lucius can do the same. I don't think we heal between fights either, by the looks of it. That looked like we started that fight with some damage from the previous one.
Okay. Where?
Lucius and Daniel set off the pattern. The map, the weather's hot and humid. God,
Notably in the log, we've got Daniel didn't like being left on low health, loyalty decreased.
Okay.
Lucius liked how well you fought, loyalty increased.
Okay, yeah. So they're a little bit off to the side. I think from an information design point of view, I feel like there ought to be a screen that comes up after the battle that kind of tells us what the consequences of the battle are.
I suppose so. I would have just expected to be in this dialogue, right? Lucius is saying, God, it feels like you've been walking for years. He probably would have said, I'm glad with how well you fought.
Yeah.
Now, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay. So... Okay. Of the Allura. Okay, so we're stuck in an illusion. Again, I've got a choice, but it's just random, right? I just kind of... Why would I... Should we take a closer look at the frozen lake? Get ready to fight. Okay, so it's just one of them, but it's... So because it's just one of them, all of my choices are pretty straightforward, I think. Because I just gotta... Oh, maybe he should have a potion. There we go. And then Daniel... Stab. What happened to that javelin? We picked up a javelin, right?
Yeah. Did it just change the stats behind the scenes?
Oh dear, I think Daniel just got killed. It's a bit of a shame. Sorry, Dan.
Really? Oh no, I guess I'll shut up for the rest of the recording.
Right. Oh dear. I think I might lose this.
Well, yeah, we've lost our healer now, so we might have a
damage
trouble.
Boost. Oh dear.
We have slightly more... Oh no. I was going to say we had slightly more health than the boss, but now we don't.
Slash.
Yeah.
Nope.
There we go.
Oh, they put us back in the battle, and they put us all up to 100.
We'll just reset.
Can I just say this is a very good idea, right? Because we did not want to have to come through the game to this point again. So they've restarted us in the same point, and they've said, okay, we'll give you all your powers. Damage boost is an item. There we go. That's better. There we go. Let's do a stab. Okay. Oh, they healed themselves. Yeah, I think it's just a case of hacking away. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe we could have done with a bit more variety in the battles, maybe? Given that this is the whole game. This just feels like it's a bit of a slog.
So I guess the thing here is about pacing, right? That the last fight and the first fight have all the same moves available to you. The only thing that changes maybe the monsters.
Yeah. Maybe if I'd picked up that tome, I'd have got a new magic spell or something.
Yeah.
Okay. We've reached the Grand Temple. So he wants to get a tome. We got a javelin last time, so let's go for the library. Massive statues, some sort of power. Okay. Alerting the Golem Guardian. Oh my life. That's a lot of Golem Guardians.
Yikes. Okay.
That is a yikes. Maybe we'll do a damage boost to start us off. And then you can do a... Oh my life. Well, let's do some windstorms, I think.
Yeah. Usually the classic focus fire on one of them until it's dead.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we want to...
keep Daniel alive to make sure we can keep healing.
Ow. Oh. What was that you were saying? Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to be able to... They're just going to massacre me now. I think Lucius is an idiot. He tripped up the... Right. So 25 damage. So we can kill... Actually, no, we should be... No, oh, I can't... Oh, resume. I said I should have used a windstorm, shouldn't I? To finish him off. We can do items. Potion. Here we go. Oh dear, he's dead as well. This isn't going well. Should we start talking about the presentation?
Sure. So we want to talk about the graphics, the audio, and the information design.
So I would say that we're definitely at the workable level, right? Because we've got graphics, they're relatively consistent. We've got music, got a nice fight music, which is different than the other music. There's some weird things like the log sort of looks a little bit out of place compared to the rest of the text. The font size
definitely seems to be tacked on at the end. But...
Yeah, which is the bit the font when you are in the dialogues varies in size according to how much text there is, which makes it quite hard to read. So there's a few little bits like that, and it perhaps lacks a little bit of pizzazz for things like the combat here, but it's definitely workable. Yep.
Yeah, so I think not professional, but it is workable.
So I think definitely the sort of satisfactory level feels about right. There we go. Let's see if. Right.
How about mechanics, controls, and bugs then? Have we seen enough of it to evaluate? I don't think I've seen bugs anywhere.
No, I haven't seen any bugs. Again, it's just relatively straightforward and simple. So I've got the dialogue, and then I'm in the fighting, and my mechanics are effectively these options. And I've got my group attack, my single attack, my heal. So, yeah, I would say it's playable. So that's a satisfactory level. I wouldn't say it was particularly engaging, if I'm honest.
There's not too many things you can do. It's broadly hit a thing, or hit everything a little bit, or heal.
Yeah. So if I heal one of these, I heal Lucius. There we go.
I suppose the obvious comparison point here would be something like Pokemon, in which a lot of the things that affect the fighting here is like type advantage, right? If we had someone who's really good at hitting Ancient Guardians, or someone whose special spell turns you into someone who's really good at hitting Ancient Guardians.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of So I think for and the controls again are fine. It's not very sophisticated. I'm just selecting options. So yeah, I think meaningful play. It's definitely a playable game. Right. So I think, how much does Lucius do when he does an impale? I can't remember. Yeah, that's what we want. So I'm going to switch to Felix, and he can do a windstorm. There we go. And then he better heal Felix. Yeah, I feel like we so the next on our list is the story engine, but I feel like we kind of need to progress a little bit more.
Sure.
So is that it's just healed himself? See, I don't like monsters that heal themselves because it just prolongs the fight and makes it sort of slightly less interesting. But I understand obviously why it's in here. Right, slash him. I'm going to switch to Daniel, and I'm going to heal Felix, and then he can impale. He should have healed himself. Right. Etchings of the Eye of Heaven. Oh. Quick, Daniel, grab my hand. He's useless to us. Do I save Daniel or leave Daniel? Why would I leave him? In terms of the narrative, what's been set up that I might leave him and let him go, right?
Yeah. There's not been any inkling that he's secretly a traitor all along, and you actually don't want him in your party.
So you're bound to. Why has Lucius betrayed us? Oh. Okay. I'm sick of you. What are you talking about?
For some reason, Lucius doesn't like Daniel, and the fact that we saved Daniel means Lucius doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah, I mean, who of us hasn't fallen out with a friend because they've saved the life of somebody?
Yeah.
You always got to kill you and take the eye of heaven. Daniel, you're right, he's an idiot. Who could have seen this coming? Not us, because there was literally no telegraphing whatsoever. Let's kill him. Okay, so, yeah. So the problem is he's quite tough. So
now, one notable thing about the combat system here is that we're always building towards a peak with a single boss.
Yeah.
This means that where the attacks are attack one thing, attack everything, and heal, you're never going to be attacking everything because it's just more effective to attack the one thing with your hit hard.
Yes. So also, Daniel seems to be not as effective at attacking us as he was when he was part of our party.
Lucius is it?
Yeah, Lucius, sorry, yeah. So who
gets
he
got more health and dumbed himself down a bit.
So he better heal. There we go. Okay, well, I think we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Heal Felix 40. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I feel like all I can do is
yeah, there's an optimal strategy, I think, which is Felix hits hard, Daniel heals whoever's on the lowest health, rinse and repeat.
Okay, so, yeah. We beat Lucius and retrieved the Eye of Heaven and saved everybody. That's it, the end. Okay, so I didn't quite follow the story at the end there. I didn't understand what the motivations were for Lucius and Daniel or what was going on. I'm just going to click through all this. Oh, there we go. So straight into the first fight. So while we're doing that, let's talk about the story engine.
Yeah. So game world, the story.
So what is the game world? The game world are these fights, right? So I suppose the game world to story is the fact that the character relationships will be changed depending on what happens in the battles. So in particular, if you leave them unhealed at the end of battle, then they'll be grumpy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Putting aside the fact that it's a little bit unrealistic because you could just heal them after the battle. And in fact, why wouldn't you? Daniel has unlimited heals, right? Yeah. So why wouldn't you just heal everybody after every fight? It's a bit odd.
You are actually incentivized to get the goblin down to one health,
yes,
and then continually do healing until you're at full health,
exactly,
and then poke the goblin in the eye and make him fall over.
Yeah. So that is a bit odd, but okay. So, but I think that might be the only place where it happens. Game world to story. There's nothing else I can do in this fight that will affect the story, right?
Yeah. And I'm looking through their notes. I think that's right. Basically, the things are: is someone left on low health, and specifically, does someone die? I think it's if Daniel dies, the story swaps to a different branching narrative. Doesn't say what happens if the other people die. Presumably, we're playing as Felix, so if Felix dies, it's just game over, maybe?
I guess so, yeah. I just took the opposite choice, by the way. I said, oh, we're just out for a stroll.
Right, okay.
No. Okay. We should check it out.
So ultimately, the thing that is taking care of their whole story to game world and game world to story interaction is these two stats, which is Lucius loyalty and Daniel loyalty, which go up and down based on every narrative decision you make and based on whether you leave them dying in the fight.
Yeah. I took the tome. No, didn't appear to be any difference. I have no idea what that choice makes, the tome or the javelin. Maybe it changes the power of one of the spells or something.
No, I can have a look in the flowchart they've given us, and it is literally you get more loyalty with one person or the other.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay.
It's just one person says I'd like the javelin, one person says I'd like the tome, so you either make one person happy or the other person happy.
Okay. Oh, I did it again. Should have done a storm thing. Oh no, I want to fight. I want to heal Lucius. Yeah, I can't think of anything else game world to story, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
I think we have
what would a pass
few
be?
sparse or minor examples.
Yeah, is that the pass level? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where we are. Story to game world. So I guess the type of fight. So I made a choice at the end of the last one. I made a choice to go to the library, and then we fought the golems. But yeah, not clear to me. Yeah, not clear to me that there's anything else that's happening.
So what they've written in their notes is, depending on the loyalty with each of the characters, they will be more helpful in battle. I don't know what that means, whether they have more health or their abilities are more powerful or something. That's supposedly going on. And then perhaps more importantly, the final battle is always against Lucius. He always betrays you.
Yeah.
And the difficulty of this battle changes based on the loyalty points. Presumably this is if you are really mean to Lucius the whole way through, he's really monster god mode, and he takes it easy on you if you were nice to him.
Yeah, but okay. So all right. So all right. So story to game world. The argument is that there's something that's going on in the battle, but we're not sure what it is. I also think so. This might be one here, right? Anything we should look out for. So last time I said the lake, and then we got jumped. So if I said, what about that tree? Should I hurl my javelin at it, or Daniel lay a trap at it? So this is presumably, let's get Daniel to lay a trap. Battle started. What? But this is the same battle as when I went to the lake, right?
Yeah.
So I think what's going on is I'm making a narrative decision. It's changing the reputation of the characters. So Daniel likes this, Lucius doesn't. But then it has no effect on the game world, right?
Yeah.
So unless that choice later on, when I go to the library, if I go somewhere else and I have a different fight, maybe.
So I think the point is it doesn't really affect all of the monster battles. The only battle it affects is specifically the boss battle at the end against Lucius. You're fighting scary mode Lucius or benign mode Lucius.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. But again,
which feels like it's either in the few sparse or minor examples, or maybe in the some examples of where game world impacts the story.
I think it's the sparse or minor examples.
Yeah.
I think they kind of. I mean, if you think about, so what would we want to do? Well, I'd have liked to have some narrative decisions might have meant that I got new powers, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm making a decision, I know it's really just a choice of do I want a javelin or a spell book. But if I go down the road of going with Daniel to the library, maybe he gets a new spell, right? And then there's clearly some impact on the game world, or depending on a choice I make, I get a different battle, right? So if I made a choice, maybe my trap is effective, and this battle starts, and this Allura creature starts with some damage or something, right?
Mm-hmm. If you're at the library, Daniel might say, "I'd really like to sit and read a book. Do you mind if I sit and read a book and don't help you with this next fight?"
Yes.
And then obviously you get extra spells or whatever for it.
Exactly, and then they're not in the fight, right? So, right. So I suppose we ought to heal Lucius. They've healed themselves. Stop healing yourself. Just annoying.
Yeah. So the thing with monsters healing themselves is if there's just one of them and they just heal themselves, they have just done negative progress. They're right. There's no way forward.
Yeah, that's right.
What a good way to implement monsters healing is something like you've got 6 little things and 1 healer on the end. or they all heal each other or something.
Yeah.
And it changes how you interact with multiple monsters because you have to take out the one that's doing all the healing first.
Yes.
Or you need to hit all the little ones about equal amounts because
Yes.
they only get a little bit of healing each or something.
Okay, here we go. So last time we went to the library, and then Lucius triggered a trap. We fought a bunch of golems. So let's go to the armory. After they're done investigating, they set off the ground. So it made no difference at all, right? So it's the same thing. Yeah,
It's another one of your stats change behind the scenes, but the story doesn't.
Well, let's talk about the agency then and the richness of choices. How many choices do we actually have? And are they interesting choices? So I think that there's clearly a number of places where we make a decision, right? Do we go to the library or do we go to the armory? Do we get the javelin? Do we get the spell book? Do I lay a trap? So first of all, the consequences of those decisions are slightly odd, right? So just asking, do I ask Lucius to use his javelin or Daniel to lay a trap, and then their relationship changes as a result, feels strange to me. But even if you set that aside, so there's definitely multiple decision points. The problem is that they always change the same thing. So there's only one dimension of choice, which is
5 or 6 choices, but they're really one choice 5 or 6 times.
Yeah,
that's not always a problem, but it is less interesting than a range of choices.
Yeah. And the next thing is they're not interesting choices because I'm not really making a choice that has any practical evidence impact in the game. So it's not even like I'm choosing between apples and oranges, which effect do I want to have, or because it doesn't really do anything, right? And I don't know anything about these characters, and nothing is set up. So the choices I make feel like they're not based on anything.
Yeah, a particular thing here is that because we have things like Daniel gets captured or something, you would kind of imagine that these effects would be the consequences of your decisions, but they're not. You're making decisions, they do affect some stats, but they don't actually affect the things that feel like the important things in the story. The Daniel getting trapping, the Lucius turning against you. Those things always happen, and so your decisions feel necessarily much smaller and less important than those other parts of the narrative.
Yeah. So in terms of the richness of choices, I would say that we're at the pass level. Well, that's interesting. A pass level is some choices, but only a few are interesting choices. Are any of them interesting choices, really?
I would say if it was built up as one interesting choice, side with Lucius or Daniel, it would be an interesting choice because it affects how you're fighting Lucius. Doesn't really have much effect on Daniel, to be honest, but there's sort of one big decision which I think is somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
One of the things that we maybe mentioned in lectures or whatever is if you're doing this structure where you present the same decision over and over and over again, right? Side with A, side with B, do it again, side with A, side with B. Usually speaking, you'd want to see you're getting more information to make this decision every time, which I'm not sure we get here. And maybe more importantly, that these decisions feel bigger, grander. By the end, it should be true that the final decision is almost one that decides whether we're fighting Lucius as the big bad or fighting Daniel as the big bad, kind of.
Yeah. Okay, so I think if we were being generous, we would say it's a pass. Some choices, but only a few interesting choices. But I think it's pushing that. It may even be halfway between a poor and a pass.
One thing that's worth noting here is that this is the work of 2 people instead of 3. So I think some taking that into account is
that's fair enough. Okay, so let's talk about pacing. So there's definitely some sort of mechanical pacing. The fights get tougher. We start off with a nice simple fight against some goblins and skeletons, and it turns into something much more complicated. Is there a dramatic rise? We have a series of fights really, and then there's the fight. I suppose you could argue the fight with Lucius at the end, but
I would say they're working towards a peak. I'm not convinced that actually makes a clear final peak. Notably, I'm thinking that the single boss monster we fight before, Elora, or whatever her name was, I think was a 200 health, fairly strong monster, and now we're fighting Lucius afterwards, who's 150 health and kind of weak.
Yeah.
There's narrative reasons why fighting Lucius is the narrative peak, but mechanically kind of doesn't feel as exciting. If Lucius had turned into a monster with horns and you know, Elora was Lucius' demon version or something, then it would feel scarier.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, I mean, a pass would be pacing is unclear or flat, and a satisfactory would be there as some ascending pacing. I think they probably got satisfactory.
I think we're at some
sort of
ascending
there.
pacing.
You know, they're kind of, you know, you've got the fights get harder, you've got the end battle with Lucius, just, you know, even given what you just said. I didn't mean to do Windstorm. That was not good. There we go. Defeated him. So that takes us on to the storytelling techniques.
Sorry, I like that Lucius didn't like being left on low health in the battle where we just killed him. I think Lucius is decreased.
Yeah, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed, says Lucius. Okay, so if we talk about storytelling techniques, what we're looking at here is the storytelling technique, right? There's no environmental storytelling in the battles. There's no sort of cutscenes. It's all done through dialogue. So I would say that we've got a pass would be partial successful attempt to use at least one game writing technique, so they're absolutely there. A satisfactory would be a fully successful use of at least one game writing technique. So do we think that they've used this technique successfully to tell us a story?
I feel like parts of it work, parts of it don't. Yeah. Notably, they definitely have a few plot elements that they have decided will always happen. So Daniel gets trapped, Lucius turns on you, and those things, because you know that they're coming, could have much stronger support in the way that you write this dialogue.
Yes.
To kind of both telegraph that they're coming, but more importantly, to give us some of the motivations so that when these things happen, we feel invested in that story.
Yeah, and then there's also what you said about there being a lack of feedback, both from the fights and in the dialogue. It feels like the little the log at the top left there could have been incorporated in a sort of better way, and could have been woven into the storytelling. So maybe we say halfway between the two.
Yeah, I think so.
So that takes us on to the feedback.
I'll start by saying I really like that in their feedback form they've given us a numbered list. Feedback items 1, 2, 3, 4. How we responded to item 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good way of laying it out.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
What do they get? They
said some basic things. We need to have clearer core dynamic for the story. We need to be clearer about what the gameplay experience is actually like. We have be careful that when players are making choices, they have sufficient reason to pick the wrong option, i.e. make them actual choices rather than just calculations.
Yeah.
And how does the gameplay affect the narrative? Even if you have story affecting gameplay, story affecting story, and gameplay affecting gameplay, we need to specifically say see some gameplay affecting narrative as well. So responses in order.
Yeah.
Main core dynamic would be how you set up fights. So destruction. That makes sense. Glad that they've retained something we taught them from
the first one. Yeah, and it works. You know, it is basically a kind of a narrative battler, right?
Yep. With regard to point 2, so that's what's the gameplay experience actually like? They said they laid out the UI in a recognizable theme. They tried to make it fit the standard JRPG format. I think that's just make the UI clear and consistent. Which I've not heard anything so far which is really addressing the things we've talked about. The next 3 and 4 I think are the more important ones. Yeah, let's go to those. Yeah. So motivate the player to select the wrong option by providing immediate rewards. So if they pick safe choices through the course of the game, they're punished for their choice by losing loyalty with Lucius. The battles become harder. While the player may be aware that they're raising their affinity, Lucius will only make the game harder towards the end. I'm not sure if we were actually aware of that, but once you know it, you're making some more interesting choices there, but perhaps they're still sort of long-term calculations.
Yeah, and you don't know. So if you don't know, it can't be. It can't factor into your choice, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure that they've succeeded in that. I think there's not enough information.
Yeah, I think
being given to you.
Feedback from the player would push that further. And then aspect 4, we implemented the loyalty system to motivate players to ensure both companions remain sufficient health and their abilities within battles are consistently buffed. The cost for losing affinity is losing a companion. Losing a companion kicks off an alternative story branch.
So we could have... We didn't see that.
Yeah, do you want to try having a playthrough where you deliberately let someone die? And we'll see where that goes. But the point here is that the feedback said make sure that you have specifically gameplay affecting narrative, and the feedback and their implementation was that we've got the specific things that can happen in the gameplay affecting the narrative will be these deaths. So we do need to deliberately force someone to die to experience how that comes up.
Okay, well let's try and do this here. Maybe this is
Daniel's the easiest person to get killed, but Lucius is also one who help.
I'm going to get Lucius to die because I kind of feel it's kind of interesting. So let's get him. Lucius can. What's he going to do? He's. Oh, actually, maybe I can't. Maybe do a windstorm.
Yeah, just do something less effective.
He can heal Felix.
Yeah.
There, so attack Lucius. He's going to use a potion on himself. Lucius hasn't got any items left, so he can only fight. So,
yeah, just
I have to do a windstorm.
We need that back to actually kill Lucius.
And he's going to heal Felix. No.
We are keeping health between battles, I think, so if we do accidentally win this one without killing Lucius, we'll just move on.
I'm going to win this one.
Yeah.
See, so it just feels... here we go. Right, Lucius feels like he's in trouble. So let's do a windstorm. Problem is I need him to beat.
You need to not hit the skeleton.
Start with you. Go on, there we go. Go on, get Lucius. Not him, the other one. Let's do a windstorm. Fight, heal himself. Yes! Success!
Right. I suppose we do have to finish the fight now so we can see what the story effect is.
Here we go. I'm gonna heal Felix, and Felix can finish him off.
Stab that
Boom,
guy.
there we go.
Okay.
So we don't have a Lucius anymore. Wait,
Hang on.
I've seen that tree before.
No, we just had dialogue from Lucius.
Did we? No, that was Daniel, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay.
What's going on? Are we going crazy?
And there's dialogue from Lucius.
Famous for disoriented prey. Yes, there he is. Oh, he just died.
Yeah.
Okay, that's disappointing.
So I think there is a specific ending for Daniel dies, but Lucius dies is not a thing that the story responds to.
Yeah, all right. Was there a last item of feedback?
No, those were the 4.
So I kind of they've made some changes. So pass would be feedback was addressed, but the changes have had limited success. And a poor would be feedback was not addressed well, although some other positive changes have been made.
I think we're probably at the pass level.
I think they're just about there. Yeah. Okay, some final thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I like the core of the gameplay being this fighting thing. I think it needed a bit more to make it an interesting fight.
Yeah.
But it was quite a hard thing to do to successfully get both the fighting bit to resolve the way they wanted to, and notably, because they were trying to follow the Ass and the Lion Fabled, they had already locked in their story about having the betrayal at the end and things. I think possibly the way they've themed this story didn't quite line up with the fable that they chose to inspire their story by.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could have... They needed to have, I think, a bit more interaction between the story and the game. I think based on your choices, those fights should have materially changed a bit more than they do. And I also think that they needed to think a little bit about having a more sensible connection between the narrative choices you're being made to have and the impacts, because it feels quite arbitrary. Like this one here, it doesn't feel like this is me choosing Lucius over Daniel, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think a little bit more work at integrating with the actual fighting, and a little bit more thought into the choices would have helped a lot. But fundamentally, as a kind of as a concept of telling a story, having the battle system in there, as that's all very sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our next game. Okay, so our final game is Asscape, or Prisoner Asscape.
Yeah.
With the ass presumably referring to the lion and the ass. Okay, so we've got a nice prison cell, play and quit. So I didn't have any music. I do have some music now. Okay, I've got a key and a crowbar down the bottom left, a health up the top left, and a sort of what looks like a handshake bar.
Friendship meter.
Friendship or something. No instructions. I think it's WASD. Yeah, I did play this in the expo. F.
Health bar on top of your cellmate, maybe?
Yep. F. Name's Fox, you look new. What are you in for? And then C to progress. I'm ass. Hacking systems, not people. I panicked and got caught. Okay. Okay. I guess I'll need you for setting out. Okay, so pick the lock. Can't do anything.
We do seem to have a key in our inventory at the bottom, which would imply we could get through a door, but maybe we can't.
I vaguely remember from the Let's Play you have to sleep before it lets you do things. If I could talk to you again. F. We're buried deep, aren't we? Okay. You shouldn't touch it. The guards will hear you and come. Which one should I do? How do I select? F again, maybe? No. C?
Enter, space.
And click. Oh, I can click.
Click.
Let them come. I'd rather fight than rot. There's no way out. Encourage him. Okay. And I've sketched the key's grooves and bent a cafeteria spoon into a crude lockpick. Why are we still locked in here? Okay, we can choose to escape. Interesting. Escape. And the lockpick over. Okay.
Now are we able to use it?
Yes, alright. So I feel like it should have given us some feedback before, but... let's do it. Oh my god, we're actually doing this. Stay calm, we don't want to get caught. Just follow my lead. You can use spacebar to toggle between me following you and standing still. Gotcha. I'll catch up. If you want to sprint, hold down shift. Alright. Okay, so now it looks like we've dropped into a sort of stealth game where...
Yeah, we've got some sort of guards with vision. We presumably do not want to be seen.
Yeah. So if I hit space, does he stay where he is? I can make a run for it. Oh, oh, he's come after us.
Okay.
Run away! Run
Go for
away!
it.
Run!
You have collected 4 guards.
Ah! Oh no! Oh no. Okay, restart level. Here we go. So maybe if he comes with me, think it'll be easier or not? It probably won't be. It'd be a nightmare if he's with me.
If he comes with you have to deal with making sure that you don't get caught and making sure that he doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
But maybe
Well,
he
let's try it. Let's
fights
try
back
it.
or helps you somehow.
Oh no, he saw us. Yeah, the guard's cone of looking around is kind of. Also, I can be chased by one guard, and the other guards don't react. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Come on, over here. See if
One of the things we usually say with things like these visibility cones is make them generous. Like, make the hitboxes actually smaller than the visual displays.
So we need to find a key in the storage room. Are they still following? Oh yeah, that one's still following us. No, that one's following us as well. Run away! Yeah. Run away!
It feels like these visibility cones do take up basically the entire corridor, so there's basically no chance to get past them.
Yeah, I could do with.
Just about we got past that one, and this guy coming here, even up against the wall, we couldn't get past.
So does this count as a new level? Do you think? And when we restart, or do we still? No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So let's Okay, let's leave him down here. I'm not sure what happens if I just leave him and escape. Can I do that? Don't particularly want to escape with him. Right. I mean, yeah, not clear whether I can get past that guy or not. I can kind of get through there. Yeah. Oh no, he turned around. That's annoying. Run away! Oh dear. Right. Okay. It's not so much a stealth game as a leg-in-it game.
Yeah.
Quick thinking. I can still talk to him even though I've left him absolutely miles behind. Oh no. Run away. Run away.
Yeah, one of the notable things is there's a positive feedback loop here, and by positive feedback loop we mean when one thing happens, more of it happens. And this is, once one of them sees you, you can't do stealth anymore because you must keep moving. Yes. Which means that probably other ones are going to see you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not clear if I can get past. Okay, I'm going to leave him there. Right, let's try. Should we start talking about the presentation?
Yeah. So we need to talk about graphics, audio, and information design.
Alright. So graphics are perfectly serviceable, I think. Oh, I just. Oh, go away. Oh.
You have gone right every time at that junction. I don't know if going left is actually easier.
I just have a feeling the storage room's down here.
Yeah.
There's millions of them.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. All right. Okay. Let's actually see if I can do it by stealth. Oh dear.
I think you are going to need to be like glued to the walls pretty religiously.
So the friendship thing is odd. I'm not sure what the friendship thing is doing. Health is. Everybody else has a bar above their head, apart from me, including my cellmate for his health. So I've not been looking at my health at all because it's way out of the way. So I think from the information, for goodness sake, I got stuck on the wall. I was being so careful. Right, I wish there was a door there or something I could slam.
Yeah, or just treat this as the next level, so you've now been able to reset to this point.
Let's go this way then. I'm not going to get past him. How am I supposed to get past him or him?
Yeah, that guy as well. They're just completely blocking the corridors.
Oh yeah, so I reckon I reckon the way I went is right. No, can't get him. Oh, see, I got stuck again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
This is what I was saying about make those cones generous. Even if you've got visually a thing that looks like it's that shape, make it like 10% smaller or even 20% smaller for whether it actually triggers the people to chase you.
Like, can I get through that gap there? Not clear.
Yeah. And the sort of 2.5D thing has that effect that you don't know whether or not it's where your feet are or where your head is, and that matters in a game that's as tight as this.
Yeah, so we're still on presentation, aren't we? So I think the graphics are perfectly serviceable. There's a nice bit of music going on. Doesn't appear to be any bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Right, oh, look at that. I've actually managed to... stop here. Right.
Yeah. It's one of these games where we might stop talking just so you can put all your effort into not getting caught. But...
So, I mean, for me, it feels like it's certainly at the... it certainly would be workable, right? Which is satisfactory, effective. And I would say it's getting on for good. It's just kind of...
Yeah. The things that, to me, are the small things that don't quite make sense are things like these green bars above the... Yeah, like those corners are basically impossible. That one as well seems impossible. Those green bars above the guards, I don't know what they're for. They never seem to go down. Like, presumably they're health bars, and later in the game you can attack them, maybe, or something, but...
Yes, I think you're right. I think they did say about that. I'm looking for a key.
Oh, okay, there's a weapon.
There's a key.
Next to the key is a baton you can presumably start fighting back. Okay. Also, it is blocked by a guard who you definitely can't sneak past. Oh yeah, just about getting in there.
No, he's got me. E, pick up the baton. How do I attack? How do I attack? What's the attack?
E again?
E to attack? No. C.
No. Click.
Click.
On a guard?
Click. Ah, I can click.
Right. Okay.
Oh my life! Right, you stay there. You appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. So okay, now it has stopped being a stealth game and now it's a murder game.
Except because I didn't know how to attack. I've lost all my health.
Yeah.
Although I do seem to have... Oi! That's annoying.
Another one of these not very generous hitboxes.
Oh, the re-levels all the way back here!
Okay, we might find that we're not going to see the whole of this game based on...
Should we go... So we've done presentation, right? We said sort of halfway.
Yeah.
So what about meaningful play? It's playable, definitely. So that's at the satisfactory level. The problems with the game, I wouldn't say they're anything in particular, right? The attack is fine. I've clearly got some objects as an inventory system. That's fine. The stealth is broadly fine, if a little bit severe. It's kind of the way it comes together. Which is a bit more problematic. And the controls are maybe a little bit finicky, and also just not telling me about how to do things. Oh, he's going around there.
Yeah.
So can I...
Be right behind.
Oh!
Yeah, okay, just about got it.
Okay.
One of the things we often see is that the people who made the game think the game is very easy, and then everyone else finds it impossibly hard.
Yeah, he got me, even though I was right at the top.
Yeah. But you have managed to only aggro one of them, which is pretty good.
Having to pick up that is a pain as well. Right, beat him to death. Go on, Mr. Guard.
Okay. Now we might make some progress, because I don't think anyone else is aggro.
No. Yeah. Okay. So slightly odd, but oh wait. Are they? They're on a little circular route, are they?
Thank you.
Yeah. So where were we? We
were doing mechanics, controls, and bugs. It's at least playable. Maybe it's engaging.
Yeah, it's at least playable. It's taken a bit getting used to. I think it's a bit finicky. But yes, I would say it's perhaps halfway between the two.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's a bit mean. Comes straight at me. Right, do you think this is level 2? I think we're safe for now. We better go to the filling room to the left. That'll get us... Filling room? Filing room? Laundry room. That'll be quicker, surely. I've no idea. He said go left. I'm going to go right. I'm guessing that's the laundry room.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Get
Have
off,
a
get
fight.
off, get off. For God's sake. Right. Laundry room. Why is... Oh, that was flashing then for some reason. Ah, good. This room doesn't look too bad. Thank you for trusting me. Right. Maybe it's worth seeing if there are any spare cop uniforms around. Good
Well,
idea.
that would be useful.
We can blend in with the cops. So I think that we agreed with him, and he likes us now.
He likes us, but it does go red.
Yeah.
And then it goes blue again.
Right, and you just stay there because you're just an absolute pain in the bum, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing either. Go away. Okay, it feels a bit better now because I can beat the... If I do accidentally get some aggro, I can beat them to death.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing in here. I kind of lost track a little bit what I should be doing.
We're looking for a cop uniform right now.
Yeah, was it supposed to be in here? Or up here? Oh, it's a laundry. There's definitely laundries. Oops. Get off. Get off. Die, 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 die. Right. Is that still in the laundry? I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
Is that a laundry?
Those are radiators. Radiators are vaguely laundry related.
Yes, because you're going to hang laundry on them.
Yeah.
Speaking as a...
There's a green locker.
Oh, God. Get off, get off, get off. Right. E.
Change into cop uniform.
Put these on. Oh, there we go. I'm a policeman.
Nice.
Hello, hello. Can I? Do you think I can be seen now?
I would hope so. Nope.
No, made absolutely no difference whatsoever. Well, that's a stupid idea, wasn't it? Okay. Get off, get off, get off, get off. The attack thing this is really weird as well. You're just kind of flailing around like an idiot. Okay, not up there. Down here, presumably.
Empty corridor. So now we have to go back to the sewers?
Yeah, I think so. But now I'm dressed as a cop. For God's sake. Oh, hello.
He managed to get a uniform as well.
Oh, how do I get out?
Okay, maybe we can't get out.
How do I get out? So nothing around here, was there? If I beat all the cops to death, maybe. Nope, there's nothing in here. Okay, I'm a little bit lost now. Not quite sure what.
Yeah, is there an interactable hiding somewhere that we haven't found?
So the obvious one would be at the top here, right?
Yeah, I'll have a look in their notes and see if there's a.
No, just radiators. It's just an empty dead end. Yeah, don't know.
The laundry room is named level 2, and the sewer is named level 3 in their document, which sure does sound like we're supposed to be going to the sewer next.
Okay, so maybe there's a bug that's not letting me go down to the sewer?
Or are we supposed to be able to access the sewer somewhere else?
Yeah. Not clear. So I came in this way.
This was a way that if we were able to go back here, we would be able to get to the sewer.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the fact that the cop uniform didn't seem to do anything means we could, in principle, just do another run of the game and ignore the laundry room, but...
I think we might have to. I can't find any other way out of here, and we're going to spend ages running around. So, I think
in their flowchart, the only thing they say about the laundry room is exploration level can find cop uniforms to help with the next level. So,
yeah,
we'll possibly find that the next level is harder if we're not dressed as a cop, but we can't find a way to get to the next level.
Yeah, I'm not missing anything, am I? There's no obvious exit. If we get to the sewers. Right, he's annoying me, so I'm going to beat him to death. Right, can I get out there? Oh, enter the courtyard.
Oh.
Ah, there's a door here.
Yeah, okay, so we
Yeah.
need a little visual clue there,
Yeah.
but that's all right.
Places filled with those spotlights. We don't want to get caught. Definitely not. Also, I've still got my uniform on. Spotlight detection.
Right, so I've had a look at their notes, and it's these spotlights are the thing that your cop uniform should make you immune to. Yeah.
You got.
Oh, hang on, what?
Yeah. So the answer is no. It doesn't. Yeah. So in fact,
Right.
I got that because I went over one of them, and the alarm went off. Just stay there. God, you're a pain. Right.
Avoid spotlights in this level. If hit by one, suspicion up. If cop uniform is worn, less suspicion. So, okay.
Oh, I see. So it's just less suspicious.
Yeah, you're not immune to them. You
Right.
just have a bit more flexibility.
I just instant died there trying to get through this little gap.
Oh, so the hitbox is again a bit too tight.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
This bar in the bottom right-hand corner is presumably scene fullness and fills up when you're in a spotlight, but it looks like
I hadn't even spotted that.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's
So you've got a little bit of leeway.
Much though.
That'll,
Get off.
Yeah. Now you're done. It is at least resetting you to this level, so you do.
Yes. Yeah, I think I would have given up if they hadn't, because it's actually really hard.
Yeah.
Because you got no way of remembering where they go, and they're, like I said, they're really.
Yeah, they move off the screen, so you can't tell how soon they'll be back.
That one there. Oh.
This one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, heaven's sake!
No crossover. I don't think there's any possible way of getting past without taking some damage there.
No.
Now these ones you're not immune to.
Get off! Get off! Oh, and those ones. Okay, so all right. Let's talk about the story engine while I'm trying to get through here.
Yeah. Game world to story to game world.
I am a bit perplexed about what decisions I'm actually making.
So, yeah, I'll read through their document that they've said. So a decision is whether you go to the laundry room or to the sewers. It looks like you do exactly one of these two options, and then you end up in the courtyard either way.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them results in you fight some rats, and one of them results in you do some more stealth and get a uniform.
Right.
Which is perhaps a narrative choice. It feels a little bit more like a gameplay choice because it really is how you move through the environment. But
yeah.
Depending on where you go, you can pick up a baton and start fighting people, which is true, but I'm not convinced that's narrative.
I just don't see much narrative. There's I'm making decisions about where to go, but those aren't really narrative decisions.
The game world impacts the narrative via the trust bar assigned to the NPC. So presumably you get different dialogue depending on how much the NPC trusts you.
Right.
So there are game endings that are affected by whether the NPC trusts you or not. We'll see whether you get to the game end. I'll avoid spoiling it unless we don't find the end.
Got stuck on the bloody wall again. So annoying. I'd have made it through if it hadn't been for that pesky wall. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to get through this, to be honest. I could say him to go where he goes. I just haven't found a route through.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take damage there. Down the bottom here is better. Because that...
Yeah. Yes, because the left-right sliders time better here. You must take damage here.
Yeah.
And then sticking to maybe the right wall if the left wall was a bit sticky.
Well, the problem
Got
is...
to go down the middle there.
Up there, maybe?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh.
These are going in squares.
Are they?
Oh, no, they're not. They're going in S shapes.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way they're going.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have a problem here with our story engine, which is that there's very little narrative, so there's very little interaction.
Yeah.
The narrative aspects are nominally your interactions with the extra inmate that you've got tagging along, except that most of the time you can just tell him to stay put, and it seems like the best choice to do so because he's only a detriment to get caught.
Yeah, he just causes problems. He's much better off just staying where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all right, well let's think about it. So game world to story, is there things that I do in the game world that impact the story? I suppose there's the choice. I make a choice about which way to go, and that changes the dialogue I get. So the story, oh crikey. My interactions with the NPC do vary according to which way I've gone in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so game world to story, there's some effect of the gameplay choices.
What about well, is there much though? Is there anything else?
I don't think there's any part of the story that responds to the fact that you've got a baton or have the uniform.
Just don't know where these are going. There's nowhere to stop to watch them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say the camera's a little too zoomed in. You don't get to watch the whole cycles.
Yeah, it's actually that. It's there's nowhere to stop. So
you took a whole bunch of damage there as well. Like that gap really is too small.
Yeah.
Like that's half killed you just for going through the bit that's supposed to be trivially easy.
Yeah. And then I've got to go.
It's clearly supposed to tutorialize. There are spotlights. You should avoid them, but they haven't necessarily play tested the size of those.
Unless it's like you said, and it's like a head and feet thing.
Yeah.
But if I go through,
so your feet
I took half damage from that.
Yeah, and notably, this is with the uniform that makes it a bit easier. Right? Presumably, if you don't have the uniform, you just die instantly on that one.
Right, so I want to go up this side over here.
Yeah, sit in that little spot.
And we go up to this one.
But yeah, so I feel like overall, game world to story has a few sparse or minor examples.
Oh, just every time I go somewhere, it just seems to follow me. Yeah, I would agree.
Those might be programmed to deliberately come after you. I don't know.
What about? I don't think so. I think it's just that you can't see the pattern. What about the? Oops. Yeah. What about the story to game world?
Actually, are there any bits? The story is you choose to bring your cellmate with you.
Yep.
But your cellmate doesn't do anything except maybe get you caught some more.
Yep.
Any
other choices in the story?
If you decide going into the sewers is a story choice, then it affects fighting off rats versus doing more stealth. So I suppose that's the big one. We'll treat which path you go on as a narrative choice.
Right, there we go. Go away.
There we go, okay.
God almighty. Right, I should be able to get across that one.
Is this a diagonal? Yeah, that's just a straightforward diagonal.
Oh! Go away! Go away! Oh! Right, I honestly don't know if we're going to get to the end. Yeah, okay, so, story to game world. You're right, really. I think there is one where you decide not to escape and then the game just ends. But I think that's, that's not really a choice. Story, you choose, so he comes with you. Yeah,
I think the big one is whether you decide to pursue the uniform or fight some rats.
Yeah. But again, is that a story choice?
Yeah. You're almost dead again. I think it's definitely tracking your feet. It might also be tracking your head. It might even be tracking your baton.
Yeah.
On the hitboxes.
And then you have to take it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to this bit and you've already lost a significant amount of your.
You would expect that a skilled player has lost barely anything, and that a non-skilled player has lost maybe a third of their health by this point.
But yeah, it's just.
Going along the top was your favourite route here.
Yeah. God,
right, let's carry on with the mark scheme.
Let's carry with the mark scheme.
Story to game world. I think we either have a few sparse examples if we include the sewer rat decision.
Yeah.
If we say that that's not really even a narrative decision, then we have some support for story elements, but no real impact on the game world.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's that.
Essentially, the choosing which way to go is a gameplay choice, and it's not really framed as a narrative choice either, because other than going, "Oh, the sewers are a bit gross," there's no narrative reason to decide between these two options.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get into trouble with this one because there's a way of doing narrative which is sort of narrative as journey, where the story is you are progressing through the levels, and it's like that's not what we're after. We want a story engine does narrative as events.
Yeah.
Right? So if there's no narrative events, then you don't need a story engine. Your story engine doesn't have anything to do. So just because you're telling a story by walking through the levels doesn't mean that you have a story engine. Okay, so Jesus, we're going. Oh, come on! And I got caught on the wall again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a notable thing to watch someone sort of playtesting this. Dave is frustrated, right, as opposed to feeling rewarded for making progress here.
Yeah. I feel like whether true or not, right? I feel like I'm being unfairly caught by the game. Like, so shall I try my head here? Yeah.
No, your head. Okay. Both your head and your feet take damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, shall we move on to the
richness of choices? Let's see.
Well, so... I mean, what choices do I have? Really, I've got the. He has to follow me. I've got the left and right. Do I go to the laundry room to get the? Do I put the police uniform on? What other choices are there? What have they got in their game notes? Do they go through any?
So the things that we said, the trust assigned to the NPC is the main choice or the driver of the choices. I don't think we've actually seen what it is that makes the trust go up or down, except for the first bits of dialogue where you say, "Let's be friends" or "Let's not."
Yeah.
Is there anything to do with whether you successfully navigate the guy through the thing he trusts you more?
Just ridiculous there.
Yeah, another trap.
No, I don't think so. He doesn't seem to mind being left behind, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we've got... So a pass would be some choices, but only a few interesting choices.
Yeah, I mean, I'll spoil the ending now because I've read the notes. I don't think we're going to get there. Yeah. Is when you get to the end of this courtyard level, depending on how you've interacted with the NPC, they betray you or possibly don't.
Right. But it doesn't feel like that's been set up, right? It doesn't feel like am I gaining his trust, or am I? There's no kind of meaningful decisions which I really feel like it's doing that. He's making a few suggestions, and if I go for them, he trusts me a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the question is it a pass or is it a poor? What would a poor be?
Paul would be few choices, player agency is problematic, and then Pass says there are some choices, but only a few are interesting. And I don't think we're up at the Pass level. We might be halfway to it.
Yeah, let's say halfway to it. I keep going on the other side of this and getting very badly caught out. I think I can stop here.
Yeah.
He's going to come across and get me, right? I mean, you're having a laugh.
Yeah.
Really?
I'd like to see the Let's Play from the designers showing us how we're supposed to be doing this.
Do you think I can go through this little gap? No, that's impossible. I'm not even going to try anymore. That is absolutely ridiculous. I think
we'll finish marking and then we'll be done.
Okay, so pacing.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice. I do feel there's a feeling of progress. We kind of make our way through. Stealing the uniform's a nice touch. I always feel it's a shame not to do that because it's a really nice narrative element to Asscape. And then here I am in the courtyard, and it changes up the pacing with the mechanically as well. I move from the guards I've got no defense to the guards where I've got the baton to the spotlights. So mechanically, I think there's pacing. Story. There is no, because there's so little narrative, right? Again,
the narrative is we're going to escape, and clearly the courtyard is closer to escape than our cell is. But there is some progression there. But
the narrative, like I said, a narrative should be a series of events that unfolds, right? Or a series of things that happens, and they get more and more dramatic with bigger and bigger consequences as the game goes on. What are those? Right? What's the big decision I'm making? What's the big reveal about the character relationships? What's the, I should be learning something about my companion that makes me distrust him, or kind of, there's nothing building, right? I think that's the problem. Again, what they've done is they've got a very mechanical game, a perfectly good stealth detection game, a little bit too challenging maybe for me, but perfectly good. And they've narrativized your journey through it, but there's no kind of narrative tension isn't really rising beyond the journey stakes. So for me, I would say, a satisfactory is some ascending pacing. And I think if you were being generous, you might say it's that. I think a pass would be pacing is unclear or flat. That feels a bit harsh given that we're clearly moving from environment to environment.
No, I think we've got some ascending pacing. I don't think we have the clear final peak, partly because it's so hard that we can't see the bit where the peak is supposed to be, but also, even when we get there, because I've read the notes, the peak is a boss battle, but by the time we get there, it doesn't have the narrative weight, right? Because mostly it's just that the gameplay is hard, and that's what's driving the tension, not stuff about the character development or the interactions between us and our friend here.
Yeah. So that takes us on to storytelling techniques. Is there any environmental storytelling? Well, the environments are nice, but they don't really change to reflect the status of the story.
Obviously, we see that we've got the baton and we see that we've got the uniform, so there's a little bit, but that's more information design.
That's probably as much as you've got, I think. Get off. Right, let's go over the top here.
We had the dialogue, of course, at the start.
So the main way is the dialogue, right, and that kind of aspect. Right, so he's coming up there. He's gonna.
That's a square.
Oh, there's another one.
I think it's two of them chasing each other in a square.
Evil.
Yeah.
Oh, get off.
And then these ones are rotating slide around a square, but they're rotating towards you. So you have to be on the bottom following them, but also...
Yeah, so is there actually a gap for me to live in? No, I don't think there is.
No.
If you look at that space there, well, there's a big space there, I guess.
Yeah.
Not
the middle closes up too much.
That one is there. No, that's a relatively decent sized gap. Oh, not that one though.
Oh, so each of these 4 that's not symmetrical, there's a 1 in 4 is the acceptable time to move.
Something like that, yes.
Right, okay. Oh, right.
I didn't expect to get to here. Okay.
This is just a up and down, and the next one's just an up and down.
Yeah, you say that like anything is just an up and down in this game, as
Yeah.
opposed to all hideously difficult. Right. Okay.
Then we've got the standard 2 up, 2 down zigzag.
Yeah, there we go. We've got the guards coming up and down. Fine. Yeah, so I think we agreed where we were with pacing. We were talking about storytelling techniques. One final room. Let's hope the warden isn't home.
And we've got a checkpoint, so we don't have to do it again.
I've heard stories about him. I heard he can summon coppers with a click of his fingers. Surely not. I hope you're right. Yeah, he can. He's invented a force field around him for protection. To find his weakness, then. Okay. I think that popped up in the middle. Yeah, I was in a zone there where I could have been caught by a policeman.
Do you have to actually poke the door?
I guess I come up this way, enter the warden's office. Oh my god, he's in there. Stay calm, we'll get him.
Is it a tiny warden on a stick?
Pick up
hang on.
Are they just trying to get us? They know we're... Do I come through this? Prepare. No more running. Yeah. Oh, C. Let's all the E on this day. Here, let's walk out now. You hit twice as hard. Okay. Oh.
Is that wall supposed to despawn?
I think... Oh, it did.
No. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Go on. There we go. My little prisoner. Oh, you stay there because you're going to get clobbered. There's the warden. What? He's got a force field. And he's spawning... He's spawning...
He spawns goons and is invincible.
Yeah. How do I make him not invincible? Alright. Right. Can you pick up a baton? Can you pick up a baton? No. Pick up the baton. Have a baton. Prepare. No more running. So do I have to walk away from the door, maybe? Yeah.
Nothing in their notes seems to say how you do this fight. It is just described as a boss battle, which of course it is. But that does imply you can actually fight him. Or can you just get out that door at the top? Just run away? No.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell what my health is. Oh, he's got him.
Oh.
Right.
Success.
Well, talk to the warden.
Talk to warden.
This can't be happening. Also, I had to defeat a couple of waves of policemen. It's over, warden. You're done. You think you won because I'm on the floor. How about this? I'll let you off the hook full and clean. Hand him over. Not worth dying him. Do we betray him or not? So again, I like what they're trying to do with this decision, but it's like, why would I? Yeah. Do I betray him? I suppose it is a conflicted decision, isn't it? They kind of built up a little bit of a relationship. I'm going to leave with him, I think. You pick me over freedom? Well, no, I was thinking we could escape together. Okay, let's get out of here while we still can. Oh, door's open. Run away! You escaped with your ass. Oh, we got some hills. I have to be honest, I never thought we'd see the end of this game. So,
no, neither did I.
Oh, dear. All right. So did we finish storytelling techniques, or were we still on it?
We were still on storytelling techniques, yeah.
So I think we've got kind of... satisfactory would be a fully successful use of at least one game writing technique. Is it so? There is one game writing technique. Is it fully successful? Did we feel like we were being told a story?
I think by the end there was some story which came from the A, do we escape at all, and B, do we keep this guy with us or not?
Yeah, but okay.
Is that fully or partially successful?
Yeah, Yeah. Or
Maybe halfway.
yeah, I think maybe halfway. I think kind of, they there's clearly an attempt to use that mechanism to tell a story, and you are right, it works in some places. So I thought the best bits of this game are definitely the bit where you're debating whether to take the police uniform, and that's quite cool. The bit where you're talking to the warden at the end, you get a decision, that's all nicely set up, right? So yeah I think actually let's say it was satisfactory, because I think those two do work, right?
Yeah.
So what
I was
the...
actually thinking with the pacing, we didn't see the peak when we marked it. Do we want to bump it up halfway between satisfactory and good? I still don't think we have a clear final peak, because the courtyard is harder than the warden fight. But we do have a final peak. It's just slightly muddled.
Yeah, I'd agree. Halfway between the two makes sense for that final.
Okay.
So and that takes us to their feedback. Yeah. What do they say?
So they said they got told they didn't have to be constrained for the ass, fox, and lion story to be explicitly you're playing as the ass, the fox, and the lion. Just use it as a theme. That's fine. So they did that. Told that they didn't at the time have a fine balance between game impacting story and story impacting the game. So they responded by implementing a choice of different paths and optional routes through different levels. We also had a choice for players through gameplay about how they'd want to tackle combat.
Yeah.
With the police officers, they could sneak past them or fight them, which would lose you health. For the game to impact the story, they had the trust bar for the NPC companion, which is influenced by dialogue and gameplay. Well, the dialogue was at the start. I'm not sure what the gameplay bit was.
No.
So maybe it is tracking something behind the scenes. It wasn't obvious enough to us exactly what's affecting that. But I think they've certainly heard that feedback, and they've certainly made some changes.
Yeah.
Do we think that those have had limited success or have been somewhat successful on that piece, and there's one more feedback after?
So I would say, it's in that ballpark, isn't it? Again, maybe you could argue it's been somewhat successful, because at least you do have a notion that there's a relationship with the prisoner. What was their last item?
They said make sure that choices in gameplay are choices, not explicit calculations. So they said that they specifically didn't have the options be if you're aggressive, you will gain -10 trust, and if you are peaceful, you will gain +10 trust.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is fine. That's a description of a thing they didn't do, as opposed to a thing that they did do in response. But it is meaningful response. I would say that's okay.
I would say we're satisfactory for those things. They've all improved the game. It's just perhaps they haven't gone far enough in some places. Okay, final thoughts on this one.
Obviously, the difficulty was pitched kind of too hard, and for us marking, maybe a button somewhere that said easy mode would have just made our lives a lot easier.
Yes.
But that aside, the rest of the game was quite a compelling game. I enjoyed watching you do the play through this. There was enough of a story built around it to hit some of the marking criteria here to have a story that was interacting. To maybe push a bit further on the story if we had been in the cell with this guy for a bit longer, and we had some idea of what his character traits were like.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the game was actually really good. And I did get there in the end, right? So you could argue that's evidence it's not too hard, but I was getting frustrated at some points. So, but I thought the game itself was really, really good, really well pitched. Yeah, too much reliance on story as journey, basically. Not enough about events, kind of those kind of decisions between characters, things happening. So yeah, but not a bad attempt at all, and I'm very happy I at least got through it once and got to the end. I don't think we there was any chance in we were ever going to get to see an alternative ending though.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, I think that's the last video for this session. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.